Hey GED students, it's GED question of the day time, and I know we're going to answer the question you've all been asking yourself all week as I go through all these perpendicular line problems. What's this going to look like on the test? Here you go. Here is a perpendicular line problem that could show up on your GED, and it was among the students that among the problems, that the GED Testing Center sent to us adult education instructors and said, you better start covering this better. Your students are missing this on their GEDs. So let's take a look. It says, find the equation of the line that runs through 3, 4 and is perpendicular to this line y equals 1/2 x plus 7. Okay, let's break down what this question is looking for. First of all, what kind of an answer do they want? They told me to find something. What did they tell me to find? They told me to find the equation of a line. Now, it's not the only equation of a line, but it is the one I use most often. I like the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. I find it's the handiest of equation of a line. It comes up most often, and it's the one most often tested on the GED. That being said, it's not the only way to deal with this problem, okay? It's the way I'm going to deal with it. Okay, that being said, so I want something that looks like this. Now remember, when you have that equation of a line, that slope-intercept form that I just wrote down, y equals mx plus b, this is the generic equation for all lines. In order to take your equation from a generic state to talk about a specific line, you need to know two things. You need to know the m, the slope, and you need to know the b, the y-intercept. That's always how you go from a generic equation to a specific equation. So you will do a lot of finding m and finding b. Now I'm just pleased as punch because I say I actually know m. And it's going to be really easy to find. I'm just jotting down some notes of my plan. I'm going to find m and I'll find b. And then when I'm done finding m and b, I'll plug them in to y equals mx plus b. That is my game plan, guys. So let's start with finding m. Remember that m stands for slope. And remember that I just taught you something about slopes of perpendicular lines. I begged you in the last 3 GED videos, or question of the day videos, to memorize that perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite, meaning you need to change the sign, reciprocals, meaning that you need to flip the fraction. So I see that my line is perpendicular to this line. This line has a slope, or an m, of 1/2. I can tell because that's the number shoved up against x. If I wanted to find my m, so this is a perpendicular line's m, but I want to find my m, I know my slope, my m, is perpendicular to that one, meaning I should change the sign. Well, 1/2 is positive, so I'll go to negative, and I should flip the fraction. I'm going to flip, or this is finding the reciprocal of 1/2. I'm going to flip it on its head. I'm going to put the 2 on the top now and the 1 on the bottom. And hopefully y'all know that 2 over 1 simplifies to just be the number 2. And so what I just found is that m is equal to -2. The slope of my line is -2. I'm halfway to being able to plug into y equals mx plus b. I need to find m and I need to find b. So now there's actually different ways to find b, but I like just using one equation. So what I'm going to do is plug in what I know. I know m. I just figured out that my m, my slope, is -2, and I know an x value and a y value. They gave me a point that my line runs through. A point is just an x and a y value. So I'm going to plug all that information in. I'll plug in 4 for the y. I'll plug in -2 for the m. I'll plug in 3 for the x. Now I don't know b, and you're like, oh no, I don't know b. Hey, that's what I'm trying to find. Anytime you can take an equation, plug in everything you do know, and you're just left with one variable, you can use that equation to solve for the variable. So I have 4 is equal to, well, -2 times 3 is -6. Plus b, and now to get b alone, all I'm going to have to do is get rid of that 6. I'll do it by adding 6. And 4 plus 6 is 10. And so what I figure out is that my b is actually equal to 10. Sorry, I kind of ran out of space down there. But I got my b equal to 10. Now that I know my m and I know my b, I can plug into y equals mx plus b. Let's do it. Remember, when you're finding the equation of a line, you want your y to stay y, but you want your m to be specific. Your x will stay x, but your b will be specific. And my specific line here that I found that runs through the point 34 and is perpendicular to this other line is y equals negative 2x plus 10. Do you think, oh my gosh, Kate, that's challenging? Yeah, this is as challenging as line problems get on the GED. We've reached the deepest waters of point, slope, and graphing lines of this subject. So it is challenging. If you need help in any of the basics that came before this, like y equals mx plus b or equations of lines or any of those things, you should check out. I've got an entire unit on this topic, whether you're in YouTube or in my online classes. But if you were able to follow along, congratulations, you just swam in the deepest waters of lines, and you will do well on your test. If you have any questions about this or any other GED math topic, be sure to drop them in the comments, and I will do my very best to answer them.